Whether you're looking to become more personally productive or more productive in your team, Trello is an amazing tool that's going to help you achieve just that. Whether you're looking to manage a project, improve your meetings, create onboarding, manage tasks, there's tons of things in life that distract us, and Trello is there to help us manage those distractions. So we're going to show you in this tutorial how to use Trello for your day-to-day operations. But before we begin, remember to subscribe to our channel so that you can get the latest videos as they arrive. Now, let's move into how you get started with Trello. First thing you're going to do is you're going to head over to the Trello homepage and you are going to sign in. You're going to have to link your account. And once you have done that, it's going to bring you to this page over here where you will be able to build your very first board. Your board is where everything is going to be happening for you on Trello. Now, at your first attempt, Trello is going to guide you through the process over here so that you can create your very first board. I don't want you to stress too much about this because we're going to show you the other ways of accessing it. So that's how you get started with Trello. Now, let's move in to the first aspect of looking at Trello, and that is through the lens of personal productivity. So how do we get started here? In your Trello dashboard, you're going to head over to the create function and you're going to create a new board. Now you can decide how you'd like the background to look. There are a couple of options there. Once you choose the one that you like, you give it a name. For our tutorial, we're going to call this personal productivity, and we're going to go ahead and start that. So now it's created the board for us, and now we have the list. Now the list is a category within your board that is going to be specific to something that you are creating. It's going to add a new one, so we go to do, doing, and done. We're going to leave it at that, just trying to keep things as simple as possible right now. And then we're going to go into the to-do list and we're going to add a card. Now a card is kind of like a sub-function within your list, and you can have as many cards as you like. So we're going to create the first one, which is a complete morning routine. So we're talking about personal productivity. We want to do a morning routine. We want to also work out a few times a week and complete projects that we need to work on. So as you can see, you can have as many cards as you want. You can also move these cards as you progress. So if we will successfully worked out, we can move it from the to-do list to the doing to the done. And it gives that personal satisfaction, right? That you've actually achieved something, which is pretty cool. We can also move it around and we can change the order of them directly in these boards, which is brilliant. And if we click on the card itself, there's so much functionality that we can go into here. And right now we can add a description to it. So now we've added a description around a morning routine that's going to help us stay balanced and healthy. The next function we're going to look at is creating a checklist. So let's say there are a few things that you need to do in your morning routine. We're going to give our checklist a title called morning routine, and then we're going to add some items. The first thing is coffee, very important. Next one is going to be meditation, then some reading, then some writing, and then maybe a bit of exercise in there as well, a 30-minute jog. So we have this list, and as we progress through the day, if we've successfully completed our morning routine, it'll be able to cross these lines off as we go along, which is pretty cool. Again, a sense of accomplishment. Then we head over to the labels function. And when it comes to labels, we can now create labels for every one of our cards. So I'm going to create a label called urgent, something that needs doing right away. Another label called important. I'm going to create a few labels here that show the varying degrees of money earning potential. So if I have a project that has a lot of earning potential, I really want to prioritize it, right? So I'm going to put those categories in. And now, as we go along with my morning routine, look, it's not going to generate me income right now, but it is important. So it's not going to generate a lot of income, but it is pretty important. So I'm going to put that label down. And then the next one I'm going to head into is the workout function. And again, I'm going to give it a description, and then I'm going to add the label in. And this is where I'm going to show you a few more of the functions that Trello provides. So let's have a look at the completed projects. Imagine that I've got a project that is urgent and important, and I need to do some of the work that's assigned to me this week. I'm going to add a date to it. So this is going to be a deadline that I'm going to use. So I've got the start date and I've got the due date. And the great thing about this is Trello will remind me a day before, a couple of hours before. It'll send me a reminder to say that this item is due, which is great, especially if you're someone who needs a little bit of prompting. You've got a lot of balls that you're juggling, a lot of things going on. This is a great way of staying on top of things. Then let's look at some of the other functions that you have here. You can add attachments to your card. So let's say there is a website that you want attached to it. I found a really cool blog post that I want to explore with different exercises. I'm quite happy with this. I want to go back to my board and I want to paste it in, and I've added it as an attachment. So now I can refer back to it without wondering, hey, where was that site? Did I bookmark it? I can go back to it on this board. I can even attach items on my computer. And there's other ways that you can add links to Google Drives, which we will show you a little bit later on. Now let's expand these lists a little bit more. And let's say we're going to add weekly goals and another list called paused items. Okay, and I'm going to show you why we've added these in a moment. Next thing that I'm going to do is show you power-ups. Now, power-ups are ways that we can add even more functionality to our Trello boards. We click on the power-up button and it takes us to all the power-ups, the apps that are connected to Trello, which are numerous, right? What we're going to do is we're going to look at the ones that are made by Trello, and then we are going to look at a few of the options that are available to us. First thing we're going to do is add the calendar power-up, which is going to give us a calendar view of what we are doing all the time. So once we do that, if we click over here right at the top of the page, you'll have a calendar view of everything that's going on. Right now, because we've added a deadline and a start date to our project, we have the complete projects tab that we have there. We can also have a week or a monthly or even a daily schedule that we've put up here, which is great for tracking exactly what we are doing. Let's go back to the power up button and we're going to go to the power ups made by Trello. And we're going to go to this card repeater. Okay, now, cool thing about this is that morning routine that we're going to have to do every single day. If we head over to our power up button over here on the side, you'll see that we have the repeat function. And now we can decide how often is this going to be repeated. It's going to be repeated weekly, and we can say, okay, great. I want it to repeat on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I want to do this morning routine as often as I can, 5 days a week. And then once I've done that, it'll now show up tomorrow and the next day and the next day as part of my commitment to do my morning routine. So if you struggle to get things done, this is a great sense of accountability as well, right? Now, the next thing I wanted to show you with regard to the power-ups, which is really cool, is this card snooze feature, right? So we're going to add it, and I'm going to show you how cool this is. Let's say that you have projects that you know are up and coming. You want to record them somewhere, but you don't want them to occupy space within your mind right now. This is where Trello really shines. So I'm going to say, prepare for my anniversary, and I'm going to say this is very important. Now, my anniversary is not happening right away, so what I'm going to do is I want to snooze this thing for probably about a month, right? So we have the option to snooze it for a short while or a little bit longer, and once we do that, it literally disappears. And now, in a month's time, when it's time to prepare for my anniversary, the board will pop up and I'll be reminded that this is something that I need to do. So those are some of the ways that Trello can help to make you personally more productive. But what about working with a team? When it comes to collaborating with a team, Trello has a bunch of options that are really going to help you. So what we're going to do over here is we're going to create a new board to showcase this. So give it a different color, and we're going to call this one our team board. And you can create as many boards as you like. Even on a free account, you have tons of functionality with Trello, which is absolutely incredible. Once again, we are going to create our lists. First list I'm going to create is upcoming projects, then current projects, then pending review, completed projects, and follow up. Now, the first thing when it comes to this team board is we need to add some members. So if you head to the share button on the top right corner here, you can add all of your team members by just inserting their email addresses. Then they'll have access to this board, and you can hold them personally accountable to what's going on. You can also keep them up to date on what's going on, and they can share their progress on these projects. Absolutely fantastic. So we're going to say, hey, you know what, we have to create some social media content. So let's go into that. And now we can tag a specific person in this card. The great thing about it is, as soon as they are tagged in the card, they'll be able to access the information. What we're going to do is we're going to add a start date and a deadline date as well. We're going to put in some information there. Now, the cool thing about it is in the description, if you put the @, you can tag the person directly and say what you would like them to do in this post, which is pretty cool. Once again, we can add some checklists. So this way you can make sure that your team knows exactly what to do. And when you check up on the board, you'll be able to see exactly what they have done and haven't done based on what has been crossed through and what still needs to be done. So that is really, really cool to stay up to date with things. We can add a few labels. So you can put this is for a certain company, whatever you like. And then you can also make comments. So let's say you want to have communication with your team members in this thread. You can create a thread and tag them in it, and it'll go directly to them so they know exactly what's happening. This is a great way of staying up to date with really specific, detailed communication with your team. Now let's keep going. We're going to add a new list over here called projects worth pursuing. So let's say you want to put a vote within your team to see if a project is worth pursuing. We're going to add a couple of cards over here so that they participate by actually voting. So we're going to head over to the power-ups function again. We're looking for the voting power-up. So as soon as we do that, down here, you'll see that we can now vote for it. So your team members will be able to vote for which kind of project they want to participate in. And by allowing them to vote, you can see what the team really feels about certain projects. So that is another really cool function. But there's still more to show you. So let's head back into this social media content card, and we're going to go add new power-ups to this. So let's go to the Google Drive power-up. And the cool thing about it is now you can give everyone access to a specific Google Drive where you add all the content in. Now we have to go in and give it permissions, but once we've done that, we can add all the content from a specific drive. They'll be able to access all the content directly from the card in one place. What I love about Trello is it gives you access to everything you need in one single space, which is a massive time saver. There is so much more functionality to Trello, especially when it comes to automation. So if you click on the automation button and you go to the automation directory, it's going to bring you over to this tab over here where you can create your own automations. Now, the cool thing about it is because I've started a new board, Trello doesn't have a lot of information to give me, but the more I use Trello, the more it's going to suggest the kind of activities that I can automate. How amazing is that? It'll need a bit of time to do that, but to get started, what we're going to do is head over to the rules function here. Now, the cool thing about it is you will have a video to show you exactly how to do it. What we're going to do is try and create our own automation. So we head over there, and just like we covered in our Zapier tutorial, we're going to have triggers and we're going to have actions. The cool thing about it is it gives us a whole lot of different triggers that we can use, right? So we can have when a card is added to the board by me, something happens. When a card is added to a list by me, when a card is archived by me, there's all these different triggers that we can use. So what I'd like to do is the card changes. I'm looking at this one over here that says when someone is tagged or added to a card by me, I want something to happen. So I'm going to look at one of my team members. When I've added this person to a card, what's going to happen next? Now I want to say that this card is going to be moved to the top of the current projects list. As soon as I've done that, I've added that in. It's a simple automation, a simple trigger that moves into an action. But the cool thing about it is it's already going to save me a whole lot of time. And as soon as I've saved that, it celebrates with me because my first automation is ready. But let me test it out now. So I'm going to this meeting and I'm going to tag one of my team members in there. And as soon as I've done that, look at that. Immediately added across to current projects. That is the simplicity of Trello. Within minutes, you'll understand exactly how to make this work and you will work it. And it'll start saving you so much time. And those balls that you're dropping, well, you are going to stop dropping them. So this is pretty awesome. So finally, let's have a look at the main question here, which is how much is Trello and is it worth it? Your free account, you're going to have up to 10 boards, you can have unlimited power-ups and unlimited automations, which is pretty awesome, right? For the standard and premium options, it gives you a whole lot more that you can do. And if you have a big team and you're all working on a bunch of projects, I would suggest looking at the standard and premium options. So what does that mean in terms of pricing? Well, from as little as $5 a month for the standard, and it's really for small teams, you get access to a whole lot of stuff that's really cool. For premium, you're looking at $10, and for enterprise, under $20. So it's not going to break the bank, but man, is it going to give you a whole lot of functionality. We hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Remember that all the links you need will be in the description below. And as always, if you have enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe for more videos just like this.